But the reality is the pandemic has created kind of like an even bigger wealth gap. Like the rich got richer, like the rich got the PPP loans. They got, the people who had these digital type businesses thrived, like Amazon.
Yeah.
What did Elon and Jeff Bezos end up being worth after the pandemic? They like doubled. They each gained like $100 billion in net worth or something crazy.
Oh yeah. Brick and mortar stores are closing left and right too.
So it's like this wealth gap is widening and like it's being redistributed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it goes back to, just like the bubble and stuff. Are we in one? Well, to me, it just really depends what side of the fence you're on,
Oh yeah.
Because I just don't see any way that housing drops with what they're doing. And I would say it should drop if there was no government interference. But the fact that we have so much interference now, to me, it's like they're signaling, hey, we're not going to let it happen.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, as long as interest rates stay low, and I think that housing is going to be fairly, it's going to stay the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Interest rates are staying low. Inventory is at all-time lows nationwide. Demand has never been greater than it is today. I mean, people are wanting to leave apartments and condos because they want some yards and the suburbs. You're seeing people leave the coast like California, like New York, and they're trying to go to Vegas and Tampa and all these things. And I don't know your situation or what you're capable of or I can't tell you what's the best market. It's going to really depend on you. Mm-hmm. And one thing I've always said about real estate markets, especially when it comes to rental property, because what I will say is with flips, it really doesn't matter. I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to flip it and make your money. If you buy it extremely discounted,
Mm-hmm.
you can flip it and make money really fast.
Yeah.
But the long term, like you had mentioned, is like, hey, even if it crashed tomorrow, I plan to hold this long term. It's going to recover.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you bought a house in 2007, if you held it till today, you're looking really good.
Yeah.
You just paid off 13 years of principal plus, it's worth more today.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you had the worst timing in the history of real estate, you were fine 10 years later.
Dude, did you know the house that I bought in 2008, I bought it super discounted because it was originally foreclosed, and I paid $210 for it or something like that. And when it, 2010, they were like, yeah, it's only worth 107. And I was like, whoa, it was already discounted. How is it, even less?
Right.
And it's back up now. I mean, it's
probably worth 300
now. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, if I would have held onto that house, it wouldn't have,
right. If you could have found a way to rent it out,
Mm-hmm.
and have somebody else pay it down, you'd be sitting on a really nice asset.
Yeah, I'd have a chunk. I mean, that was 12 years ago.
Right.
And
so that's why I think right now is a great time to buy, especially if you're a buy and hold guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so really, if you do make the decision, like you're agreeing with what I'm saying right now, and you said, okay, the market's not going to crash, but even if it does,
it's not going to be a problem.
It's not going to be a big problem because I'm getting such cheap debt, like you mentioned. I mean, rates are in the 2%, like they're literally giving money away. And the reason they're doing that is because they want more money in the economy.
Mm-hmm.
The more loans they lend out, the more money that's in the economy. And that's how it works. That's economics. And I would just say, I've done quite a few YouTube videos on this. If you guys don't follow, subscribe to my main channel, go to Ryan Pineda on YouTube, and you'll see a bunch of rental property videos I've done. And the main question you got to ask yourself with every market is, am I looking for appreciation or am I looking for cash flow?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's very difficult to get both in the same market. For instance, Vegas, I've got rentals out here and the cash flow sucks. At the end of the day, my mortgage might be $1,500 on a property and it rents for $1,700, $1,800. It's not good.
Yeah.
Once you take in property management, I might actually be losing money.
Yeah.
But at the same token, I'm getting a lot of benefits that offset that. I'm getting tax write-offs. I'm getting principal pay down. I'm getting appreciation. And so I'm okay with the trade-off. And I also know that in like 5 years, 10 years, it's going to actually cash flow really good. I mean, it may be $1,800 today. 5 years from now, what's it going to be? $2,300?
Yeah.
$2,500? 10 years from now, $3,000? And then we're looking really good.
Yeah.
So for me anyways, this is why I say everyone's situation is unique. I can be okay not making any money cash flow wise. Or in fact, even if it's vacant, cover the mortgage and be okay.
Yeah.
But that's not everyone's situation. If you can't afford to do that, you should not take that strategy, you know? But the other side of the coin is cash flow. And so a lot of people go to these Midwest states. I use the Midwest a lot because that is where on paper the best cash flow is. I mean, you could get a house for 100,000, 150,000 and it rents for, 1,000, 1,500. Like it rents way
Making
better.
money, yeah.
Yeah. But it's like those don't really appreciate the way the Vegas homes appreciate. That house in 2010 that you had, for $100,000.
Yeah.
The house is worth $300,000 now, 3x, 10 years later. My first Big Bear home was 10% down. That's what I did. And then we got so much equity that, I ended up refinancing it. And what's funny is because rates are so low and because prices are so high, I'm going to refinance it again.
Yeah.
I was actually talking about this on Instagram the other day. If you don't follow me on Instagram, definitely go follow, and we'll link to that below. But on stories, I was saying that 3 years ago, I bought my very first true rental, which was in Big Bear. Bought it for $200,000. And, I put 10% down. And honestly, I didn't think it was going to be the start of this business. Now I've got 10 of them out there. And I was just like, dude, Big Bear's cool to hang out at. I love snowboarding. I love nature. It's way different than Vegas. $200,000 is super cheap for a vacation home, And I just bought it. And I thought the market was undervalued because Tahoe and stuff was twice the price. Brian Head, I just didn't really like.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I bought it, put $30,000 into it, made it super nice. And I thought that was it. Well, I got the bug because I immediately saw how much it was making in Airbnb.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to buy more of these. And sure enough, I kept buying and buying. But long story short, I actually am refinancing that property today because it appraised at 420 just 3 years later.
Yeah. That's huge.
Insane. And the rates are lower. So I might end up having not a similar payment, but not much more, and take out all that cash.
Cashing out that extra.
Yeah. And then I can go reinvest that into Austin, Texas or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we could be neighbors.
I don't know about that, but thanks for watching that clip from the Ryan Pineda Show. If you want to see the full interview, you can actually find it in the link below. Make sure you also subscribed on both YouTube and Apple Podcast.